Good morning. Your time 6 o'clock on the dot. Right now at sunrise, another messy commute across the metro for some as more snow falls or light rain showers, whatever you're dealing with. The region was soaked yesterday. We do have Mobile 11 out and about showing you what you're going to see as you start your Tuesday. This is a live look at 494 out of Bloomington. The wiper blades are definitely active. And that snow is going to keep falling for a little bit longer. You can see it blowing through the Twin Cities metro. It's north of us too, up in the Duluth area and beyond.
Causing problems for some anyway. Right now, there's at least one school delay. Hutchinson Public Schools on a 2-hour delay right now. Ben, I don't think it's going to get much worse. Do you think that most schools are probably good to go?
Yeah, I think so. The morning commute certainly looking damp. The roads are wet from a dusting to an inch of snow that fell last night. I know some areas up near Forest Lake did pick up about 2 inches of fresh snowfall, but those higher totals are pretty localized. You take another live look at radar. We still might see some wraparound snow showers later this morning, especially north of the metro. You can see from Duluth up the North Shore, the Iron Range. They're going to pick up another couple inches of snowfall up there. In the meantime, visibility is good and temperatures are quite warm. All things considered, we have stayed warmer than the freezing mark all of last night, so that limits our chance of seeing any frozen icy spots. But once you go out on your drive, if you get into the shoulder, you might run into some slushy conditions, and that might catch your car and push you into the ditch, so that might be something worth mentioning. But otherwise, no additional snow accumulation today. We are tracking a stronger weather system that'll move through the upper Midwest late Wednesday into Thursday. Significant snow is expected, including here in the metro. We'll let you know what the latest forecast models are showing coming up in a few minutes. Before then, let's toss it over to Alicia for your traffic.
Yeah, it's slick out there, Ben. And certain spots that there's, of course, ramps, bridges, overpasses where that overnight rain and the little snow can freeze up. We had a few crashes I can show you here. 35E at Deerwood out of the Eagan area. As you can see, it's still blocking the right shoulder. And just a few miles, maybe just 1 mile north of that at Lone Oak Road, 35E, a car went way deep into the ditch. And not too far from there, 494 westbound at Piper Road. It looks like a box truck or a semi truck blocking the left shoulder is causing a slowdown for that area this morning. We do have Mobile 11 out and about. Photojournalist Jack Stanek has been keeping an eye on road conditions for you. Jack, the main arteries don't look too bad this morning.
No, not at all. I'm on Minnesota 77 right now near Eagan, and as of right now, it's looking pretty good. I've been driving for just about a little over an hour and a half, or maybe a little under that actually, but that entire time I've been on these main roads, and while it has been slightly wet, I've had the windshield wipers going. Other than that, it's been a pretty smooth ride. I did go on the side streets a little bit earlier, and as Cece has been talking about in some of the earlier half hours, they are a little bit more snowy, a little bit more covered. So when you're in those areas, you might want to be a bit more careful. But once you get onto the main roads, you should be good to go as long as you've got working wipers and good tires.
Great. Thank you, Jack. Well, the warmer weather, of course, causing, like Jack was saying, on the side roads, a big mess out there.
Yeah, we've had a few crashes too, so it could be slick in spots. But Twin Cities cleanup crews, they've been busy trying to play catch up to the challenging areas. So Cece's live in St. Paul, breaking down how plowing might impact where you park today. Hey, Cece.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we've been through a lot of side streets in St. Paul this morning, and pretty much they all look the same. If you take a look here, they're not that icy snow anymore. It's really just this slushy, wet mess that really needs to be cleaned up. And so that's why Twin Cities crews, they're going to be out here this morning starting at 7 and for the next 4 days, removing snow from residential streets. Now, this isn't an official snow emergency, but you're going to have to move your car at some point over those next 4 days. So when you move your car is really dependent on where you live. So today and tomorrow, crews are going to be plowing east and west residential streets here in St. Paul. Crews will do the north and south residential streets on Thursday and Friday. There will be no parking signs posted so that there's no confusion about that. But the city has also asked you to make sure garbage and recycling bins are also out of the street. Now, this special residential plowing schedule is weather permitting and it could change, so make sure you are looking at the city's website where they post updates.
The only 2 winters have had more snow to date than we've had this year. And the snow we got right after New Year's was literally the 4th heaviest by weight ever in January. So what we want to do is get into the residential streets and make them safe and passable, and get as close as we can to the curb as possible.
The city says for people who don't move their car over the next 2 days, or your car sits here for 2 days or longer, you could get ticketed or towed. Here in St. Paul, a ticket could cost you more than $50, a tow over $275. Hopefully people get their cars moved out and crews can really work to get most of the snow up before we get another round of snow. Alicia, Rena.
Well, people have definitely had to pay attention this season to that, so hopefully by now they're on their toes. All right, thanks, Cece.
Well, hey, if your sidewalks in Minneapolis are still slick, you need to know this. Take a look at your screen. These are the locations for the city's 4 free sand stations that you can come and grab some sand from. The sand stations are open 24 hours a day. You got to BYOB, bring your own bucket and shovel. Minneapolis says if any site is out of sand, like you see here, they're going to refill it in the morning. There is salt mixed into the sand to help prevent it from freezing. Take a look at this new video that just came to the newsroom. It is not a summer storm. This actually happened yesterday, a confirmed tornado out of Iowa. Ben actually tells us January tornadoes are rare. This one touched down in eastern Iowa. It knocked over a semi, took down some trees, but the damage is relatively minor and no one was hurt. Well, as you're reaching for your morning cup of coffee, your morning cup of joe, grab your phone or your tablet and get our Care 11 app. It's going to help you stay ahead of the winter weather event that's going to be coming into the area tomorrow evening. You can get personalized forecasts and weather alerts sent right to your phone. You can find it wherever you get your apps. In a few hours, the man accused of shooting and killing North High School football star Deshaun Hill is going to be back in court.
Last week, Cody Forencamp's attorney asked the judge to reschedule and move the trial out of Hennepin County. They say the recent Showtime documentary on North High and Hill increases the chances that he cannot get a fair trial. Jury selection is slated to start today, though. Investigators say Forencamp shot Hill after they brushed shoulders near Golden Valley Road and Penn Avenue last February. This morning, Humboldt High School in St. Paul will have more security on campus. That's after 2 incidents last week involving students reportedly having a weapon. Now, one of those incidents forced the school into lockdown. That happened Friday. The school said in a letter to parents that in that incident, no weapon was found. The administration is also reminding students that if they know anything that could be of a safety concern, to report it to a trusted adult or go to the tip line at spps.org/safety.
Today at the state capitol, Governor Walz is expected to announce his budget plan aimed at what he says will make Minnesota the best state to raise a family. The proposal is expected to include a focus on things like health, housing, public safety, and infrastructure. The entire 2-year budget plan will be released next week.
Later this morning, Scott County officials are meeting to discuss the future of the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. They'll consider whether or not to revoke the festival's permit to operate. That's after roads leading to the festival were heavily clogged last fall. Today's meeting starts at 9 and then will be live streamed on Scott County's YouTube channel. New this morning, actor Jeremy Renner is home from the hospital after his snowplow accident on New Year's Day. The Marvel star was hurt in the driveway of his Nevada home. According to the 911 call log, Renner's upper torso was crushed by a snowcat vehicle. He had several surgeries and is still recovering.
All right, we are dealing with some slick spots out on the roads this morning. We had some rain showers yesterday evening, turning over into snow, which left the roads wet and slick, unfortunately, in certain spots. Here's a live look, 494 at Piper Road. You can see a vehicle looks like it crashed, blocking that left shoulder, rather. So it is causing just a minor slowdown in the Inver Grove Heights area. Down on 35E out of Egan to northbound 35E. We had 2 different cars head into the ditch. So just take it slow. Roads still wet this morning. But again, we've been used to it this winter, haven't we been, Rena?
Absolutely. All right, let's take another live look from Mobile 11. This is Cedar Avenue in Apple Valley. We cannot say it enough. You're going to want to take your time, especially if you got to drive some side roads that are not quite as cleared as the main roads have been. This is Jack now tooling around on some side roads. You can see much worse than the main roads that he was on just a little bit earlier. And Ben, this system is going to move out of here in a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it. And as temperatures stay warmer than the freezing mark most of the day today, that limits our chances of developing ice, considering the roads are very wet outside this morning. I want to show you how much rainfall fell yesterday, over a ½ an inch in the Twin Cities. And get this, it's the first time ever in the month of January we've had 3 separate days with a ½ an inch of moisture or more. It's the first time it's happened in history, at least in the Twin Cities area, and we experienced that yesterday. This is a 12-hour loop of the storm that did switch over to that rain-snow mix last night. There's the tornadoes just outside of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, that developed about mid to late afternoon yesterday, and you can see still some light snow falling over parts of the state, but we're on the backside of this system. Light snow from Duluth up the North Shore, the Iron Range picking up some light snowfall as well. We might see a few lingering snow showers here, but the accumulating snow more or less is done. The wind has shifted from the northwest. That means the system is beginning to wrap up. And even though we are expecting temperatures to be a little bit cooler today, not much. Right now it's still 33 degrees and temperatures are pretty much going to hold steady through most of the day today. Staying mild with that northwest wind about 5 to 15 miles per hour. And for what it's worth, today is the first 5 p.m. or later sunset since early November. So we continue to gain daylight. Then as we head into Wednesday night, so tomorrow night, our next winter storm starts to move overhead. Snow begins to ramp up. This will be an all snow event that lingers into Thursday morning. Thursday's morning commute is forecast to be challenging as we deal with significant accumulating snow and the snow wrapping up throughout the day Thursday afternoon. National Weather Service has a winter storm watch out for most of southern and southeastern Minnesota. This area in blue, best chance of seeing a ½ a foot or more of snowfall, and forecast models are getting into better agreement with exactly where that heaviest snow is going to fall. Notice this 2 different forecast models are lining up with 4 inches plus snowfall in southeastern Minnesota. Here in the Twin Cities metro, probably looking at that 3 to 5 inch type of snow, and it will be a little bit fluffier than the snows we've been used to so far this season. A little cooler heading into the weekend, but staying warmer than average, and a brighter Saturday and Sunday is expected as well. Guys?
Super duper. Thank you, Ben.
Yep.
Well, in less than 3 minutes, we're checking back in with Cece to see what things are looking like in St. Paul as we get more snow and they're trying to clean up.
I know, cleanup continues, and we're going to get another live picture from Mobile 11 with the latest on road conditions. Then we're learning new details about the memorial honoring Lisa Marie Presley and what's next for Graceland.
Plus, a lot of people reaching for Ozempic and another drug for diabetes to lose weight. But what happens when you stop taking those drugs? We've got